Day 5 of my 2-week van conversion challenge. This morning I'm starting with insulating the floor with more closed cell foam. The first thing I noticed was that these wheel arches were starting to come up, so I'm going to have to fix that too. And I also found one batten that I hadn't actually stuck down yesterday, so I quickly sorted that. I cut the insulation to the length of the first half of battens and started cutting it to the correct widths. My technique was to mark the insulation at the correct length in 2 places and then use my long ruler to cut a straight line between the points. It's so satisfying when you get one of these cuts perfect. I cut around the back floor trim, which I think I'm going to have to keep to protect the floor and the back door catch, and I used the offcuts to fill the little sections around the wheel arches. This went on for quite a long time. There were a few little odd sections I had to cut around, and once it was all filled, it was also covered with bits of foam, so I hoovered up yet again before taping down all the joins with foil tape. It started raining at this point, so I got everything inside the van and carried on for as long as I could. My biggest tip for the foil tape is to use something to press it down into place instead of your hands. It's really sharp at the edges, and I got so many little cuts last year from pressing it down with my hands. I managed to finish the taping, but it was really chucking it down by then, so I went inside and started on varnishing the ceiling planks. Last year, someone told me to use a roller for this because I used a brush and it took so long. I don't know why I never thought about this as an option, but it worked a treat, and I just want to say thank you so much to that person because it saved me so much time. My tip is to not forget to clean the dust off your planks before you start varnishing, and also to save bits of packaging to use to raise the wood off the table because it makes it so much easier to do the edges well. Even with the roller, it still took me a few hours to do multiple coats on only half of the planks. I wanted to go back outside at this point, so I got out my first sheet of ply flooring. A full sheet fits almost exactly between the wheel arches, so my new plan is to have this sheet in the center and then cut smaller pieces to fit around it. I did realise there was a small section where one edge of the flooring won't have a batten underneath, but it's only a small section and it will be underneath the kitchen, so I don't think it matters. Next up is plastic insulation in the beams. It started raining again, but I was determined to get another job done. I ripped the insulation into pieces and fluffed it up before stuffing it into the beams. I used a screwdriver to help me push it along when needed. It's pretty easy in the big beams, but in the smaller ones it takes a bit more effort. By this point it was raining so hard that I couldn't have the doors open at all, so I finished this job off in the darkness and then stopped for the night, hoping for a better day tomorrow. So come back then to see how day 6 goes.